Good morning, Aviano. Today is a C&E day. The focus of the day is planning and getting ready to present. The final C&E symposium is April 24th. The entire community will be invited.
In preparation for next week, we want to take a few moments to go over Terra Nova protocols and procedures to ensure that everyone gets the same information for this week. We will be sending the testing schedule home to your parents, and we ask you to remind your parents to please not interrupt the testing process by calling or coming down to the school during testing times. Please remind your parents that if you miss a section of the test due to an appointment or other, you will have to complete a makeup test, which will require you to miss other classes. This will not be a good situation for you.
First, we want to give everyone a few tips for doing your best on the upcoming test. Remember, Terra Nova is used to help us make next year's course placement decisions, so it is your best interest to do your absolute best. Here are the tips. You might want to get out a notebook and jot this down.
Tip number 1, bring 2 sharpened number 2 pencils to the test, and be sure they have good erasers.
Tip number 2, eat a high-protein breakfast each morning before the test. Protein-rich foods can help improve concentration. Protein-rich foods include beans, cheese, eggs, meat, and nuts.
Tip number 3, visit the bathroom 15 to 30 minutes prior to your scheduled assessment times. Having a full bladder during testing will affect your concentration.
Tip number 4, get a full night's sleep prior to the assessment. Lack of sleep will affect your performance.
Number 5, wear comfortable clothing.
Tip number 6, do not panic. If you get nervous about a question, slow down. You have plenty of time to check your work. Be sure to use all of the time given.
Number 7, answer the easy questions first.
Tip number 8, if you have time at the end of the test, review your answers. Do not second guess an answer unless you are certain you misinterpreted the question.
Number 9, watch out for careless errors.
Tip number 10, eliminate answers you know are incorrect to help you arrive at the right answer if you are struggling with a question.
Number 11, consider all choices before marking your answer.
Now a few do's and do nots for the test next week.
Test booklets and questions should not be copied. Do not write down any questions during either the test, and do not discuss them with your peers. This is considered cheating, even after the test is completed. You should not discuss your test or the questions with anyone.
You are not allowed to leave the testing room with your test booklet. If you have to leave the room during the test, you will have to give your testing booklet to your teacher, and you may be required to take a makeup exam.
All of the testing material must be handed in at the end of the testing time, and teachers will return the materials daily to our school testing coordinator, Ms. McGuire.
Teachers are not allowed to look or discuss the test with you. Please do not approach your teachers with information from the test. This is a big no-no. Any incidences of discussion must be reported to Mr. Williams or Mr. Harvey and can result in invalidation of your test.
You are also not to look ahead in the test. Each section of the test is timed, and you are not allowed to look beyond the section that you are working in. You are also not allowed to go back to a previous section to complete work that you haven't finished.
No electronic devices are allowed in testing rooms. You should only come to your testing room with 2 number 2 pencils. No books, notes, backpacks, etc. will be allowed in the testing rooms. We encourage you to use any remaining time, if you finish your sections before given time is up, to review your questions and your answers. Remember, we consider Terra Nova scores to ensure you are appropriately placed in next year's classes.
We know that many of you have taken this test before, but some of these protocols are new, and it is important that we don't stray from these guidelines. If we do, entire class sets of tests can be invalidated, which means the entire class could be compelled to take the test again during makeup week. We want you to do your best, and we know that you will.
If you have any questions regarding next week's test, please see Ms. McGuire or Ms. Lee in the counseling office, or Mr. Williams and Mr. Harvey in the office. Have a great testing week.
Reminder to 6th grade through 9th grade students. Terra Nova testing runs every day next week. Students should check the list outside the guidance office to find out where they need to report to for testing. 10th, 11th, and 12th graders will report to their seminars. Only take number 2 pencils, a snack, and a bottle of water. Have a challenging and empowering day, Aviano.